Hello. I did some work today, so I've been busy, but once I got home, it's kind of late in the afternoon right now, but I started doing a couple of things to the bus. I'm gonna try to pick up cabinets tomorrow, so I'm basically trying to clean this up and clean this wiring up, but I figured I might as well jump into the wiring a little bit as I clean it up. But I need to start filming so I don't forget where some of this stuff is coming from, so I can look back on it, because they're kind of like question marks right now of what they go to, but I'll film where they came from and explain what I've done so far. I got the wiring a bit more organized and consolidated, and most of this stuff does not stay. The only one that does need to stay is this one thin one for the marker lights, and unplugging that does unground them, because for some reason they didn't just ground one of these connectors to the actual ground, which is right there, rather than running fucking 15 grounds or whatever to this connector and, you know, splicing all these different ways in. So I'm gonna depin this ground from this connector, which goes in that port right there, because we're taking this guy out. So it goes right there on the connector, as you can see. And at that point, we can take this whole marker light loom out of the rest of this harness. So all of that can go besides the one wire for the loom, and then all I gotta do is ground it, which there's already a grounding point there. There's actually a bunch of wires right there. I could probably just put a connector on it and slide it right over one of those terminals, to be honest with you. This is for the other marker light in there. It just has slack. And other than that, the wiring for this guy, I guess, comes from below, because there's no wiring running down to it. These are just the two AC lines and the drain line at that point. So, oops. So yeah, I'm gonna depin that, get that disconnected, and we'll have to connect the ground up before we go driving. I mean, we'll be driving in the day tomorrow, so it's not a huge deal, but we should connect it to avoid any issues. It's getting dark, and I do not feel like turning the light on, because I don't plan on being out here very much longer. So for this lighting situation, I got all the harnesses. There's only the one marker light thing running to the back. The rest of them I just have bungeed up for the time being. They're all wrapped up, and everything that I know of is labeled. So yeah, that's all hanging there waiting to get addressed, and a lot of that will probably get removed. Otherwise, we got our marker lights running back. This is all just extra slack that I'm probably just gonna wrap up in a moment. But just for now, to get this keep my running lights working and whatnot, since this was depinned from this connector, I mean that terminal, it already fits on there, so I just shoved it on there for now. I'll probably just electrical tape it up for the moment. But that's everything for the wiring back here. The only thing that's left are these AC hoses, and then just the slack for all these marker lights. Obviously make a better ground situation for that eventually, but since it's getting late and I'm just trying to tidy this up and I want them to work, I'm just gonna leave that as it is, and I'll tuck the rest of this up, and that should be good for tonight. I gotta move some of this stuff into the garage, because like I said, I'm gonna try to pick up the cabinets tomorrow, so I don't want any of this crap moving around while I'm driving. So I'm gonna get it out of here. Bus is emptied, ready to go for tomorrow if I do end up doing that. I am just gonna really quickly test the marker lights, because I'm gonna lock it up. So that's locked. So what I'm gonna do is just pop this driver's door, since all the other switches for all the doors are, like all these other doors, have been unwired. And it's working. All right, cool. So those are working. Bus is cleared out. I got the tarp down just to cover the plywood, so I don't have to worry about walking over it. So yeah, we'll go pick up those cabinets tomorrow, most likely. This wiring has to get gone through at some point, but since it's off of that panel there, and that's just the running lights, which are gonna have to stay there ultimately, I can remove that panel next, get that wall stripped down, and I also need to get that rail taken off, but I've seen the bolt heads for those are carriage bolts on the outside, so I think all of those holes are gonna have to get resealed if I take those out, but I'm gonna have to take them out to get the wall off. So we will get to that when we get there. But for now, she's empty and she's looking good. And yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. This will be a part of tomorrow's episode, or whenever I upload this episode. This is not going out tonight. As you guys heard from the last episode, I had stuff to do. This isn't enough footage for a whole video, so yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. So, sorry about that. It's a new day. We are going to get some cabinets today. Hopefully the guy's there to help me load them up, because it's early in the morning and I'm kind of showing up right as they open. So I hope they're ready. Yes, this bus is so freaking loud. Oh, is there another bolt that came out? Oh, nice. Oh, but it's stuck in the ground. Even nicer. Ha. I don't know how I keep missing all these, but I'm gonna let this warm up for a little bit, and then we're gonna go get some cabinets. I tell you what, this leather seat is cold. I need some heated seats up in this thing. I gotta figure out how to hook that up. We got the cabinets. Time to go home. I put the cabinets roughly where they might be in the setup, because this will probably be storage. This will probably be my bed area. So then this takes up the kitchen area. The shower will be back here, and this corner, which I feel like is plenty of room for me. If we get this out of the way, because, well, obviously I'll hit my head on that. But if that wasn't in the way, I'd have plenty of space to do my things there. Yeah, there's some really nice cabinets. This is like a pull-out drawer with a trash can. I can't pull it out all the way because it'll just fall forward because of the weight. It's not secured, but it gives me 2 bins. So honestly, I could do trash and dirty clothes, or maybe trash and recycling, or whatever I want for that. And it's got a drawer up top. This one's got a drawer, obviously, and this one opens up, and then has these 2 slide outs, which is cool. Something I do need to be mindful of is the width of how far these open up, especially this one, since those have to slide out. And all these drawers have soft close on, so I don't need to do that myself. They already have them. I only paid 150 bucks for all 3 of these, so 50 bucks a piece roughly. But yeah, these have nice deep drawers. So my sink would probably go around here. Like I said, ideally that emergency window would probably be over one. And yeah, so that would be the space right there. I think that's pretty cool. Hell yeah. I've simplified the wiring down quite a bit more. Again, that's the rear marker lights. Those have to stay, but I took that panel off all the way down. Right now I'm just trying to strip this down so I can get this off, so I can actually pull this fiberglass wall off. And then from there, I may or may not do something about this, but I might put it back up. We'll see. But I moved the wires around. This is the AC one. I'm probably gonna take it out unless it can get repurposed for something, but in its current condition, it's not doing me any good. And it's huge, bulky wire. I might be able to reuse some of the wiring from all of this stuff, but basically here's how it's sorted out. I got the speakers and the LEDs. They came from up there, the wiring, so I put them back down there. The speaker one actually comes down from here, and these rear speakers didn't work, so they may or may not be hooked up or something. I don't know what this is, but oh, it's for that one wire. But yeah, so maybe the speaker issue is down here on why they don't work. I'm not sure, but that's not a priority right now. Priority is getting it stripped down and ready to build out. So yeah, I routed all that stuff up there for now, just to keep it out of the way. The LEDs I'd like to reuse, but I need to fix the switch because like I said, it was intermittent. But here's this stuff. So this is all the rear stuff, like the lights, the grounds, like the bulk of the harness for the rear. And that comes up and it has two connectors. So this looks like ground, but I'm not entirely sure where it's going. Either way, we don't need it. So we can unplug that. And then this one is the interlock system for the rear doors. So like the lift door and everything. So we can unplug this one too and get that out of the way. So then all that stuff is disconnected and we don't have to hide it somewhere. And we can also reuse this wiring if we need it, because it's good wiring, good looming connectors. And we might be able to reuse some of this panel, I'm not sure, but there is a lot of wasted space back here. So this might get redesigned because half of this stuff I probably won't be using anyways. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm gonna unplug these and tidy this up a bit more, and then from there I might start peeling at this wall. Otherwise I'm gonna get those door sills off and then peel up the rest of the flooring. In between right now, we'll see. I took that seal off, I peeled that stuff up. The seal actually doesn't mess with the door seal for that one, so that I could leave off and close it. This one shouldn't mess with the door seal, but whoever was in here had siliconed this plate to this horrible gasket that goes along here. So in reality, the way I thought these worked is not actually how they work, and that gasket just needs to be replaced and all. That one, the gasket is actually on the door, which maybe it's supposed to have a gasket along there too, but this one just has one around the door, which is also very failing. And this one is actually, they painted it too, which, you know, that's not helping at all either. So lots of little leaks. So I'm gonna have to figure out what kind of gaskets I can put on these to replace them and seal these doors up without having to go to Coach necessarily to buy the gaskets. All this peeled up. I'll get that center aisle piece, that last little piece at some point. Also need to get this unbolted so I can get that area as well, but those aren't super high priority. I was looking at this and how it seals. Somebody put, you know, this sealing stuff here, which is super brittle at this point, super old. I don't know if it's original or not, but either way, it's not working anymore. And that stuff goes all the way up. That stuff still seems like it's all right. It's a little worn down here. But I was thinking, if I can get some kind of like rubber flap, almost like, it's a good example, almost like these, you know, something to hang off the end, so when this shuts, any water that does come down the side doesn't go into there and pool, because this obviously, you know, this is a pulling spot right here. So instead, when this is shut, that flap will hopefully go over this just a little bit, so then the water will continue down. This also, the seal here is, you see how it's been sealed up to there, but down here it's just missing, or it's cracked away or whatever, so that needs to get resealed as well. You can see this one is also starting to go away, or starting to wear down. So those need to get resealed. This gasket probably also, it's just coming off at the top, so I mean it probably needs to get fixed, and somebody probably glued it on, unless that's just the rust. But yeah, definitely needs some resealing in a couple spots. And then for here, I got like what looks like about a 1/2 inch gap or so. So I'll get some kind of thing to come in here and seal up against that. Anyways, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a little break because I haven't eaten all day, so I'm gonna go make some food, and then when I get back, I'm gonna clean all of this out again, probably minus the cabinets. Cabinets I'll probably just move to whatever the best location is that they're out of the way of the holes, because that's what I want to tackle next, is all these holes. Which, while we're speaking of holes, we should look at these bolts on the outside. Oh yeah, I could probably seal that up, not too bad. So yeah, we'll seal these up as well while we're at it. And then all the holes, this is cracked, by the way, or somebody, I don't know what, somebody put a grinder to that, obviously. I can obviously see that now, and it wasn't me. So that is completely cut open, so that's leaking. And you can see light through the inside there. So that'll have to get resealed as well. If I can get these freaking crusty washers off. So yeah, a bunch of holes in the side of my bus, nice. But we got some hardware. I'll have to get that last one off when I can get the washer off. But yeah, I'm just gonna seal up all these holes. I have expanding foam for larger ones like this, but most of them I'm gonna try to plug up with silicone if I can. And I do have a bunch of pennies, but I don't know if I want to do the penny method on wood. But I could if I want to. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. We'll see how it's working with just the silicone, and if I need to do something else, then we'll figure something else out. That makes things a little bit more fun. I started siliconing holes. Try not to step on them. There's a bunch of them. I don't think there's any underneath where the cabinets are, because I try to put them in places where there aren't any holes, because those are where those brackets were, and then the rest of them were into the wall. So that big one, I just silicone straight over. I put that fiberglass patch repair, and I'll cut the excess away. These are all just some kind of DAP exterior sealer, basically. They're for windows, trims, roofs, siding, whatever. So it's made for exterior, which is where it's going to be seen on the bottom, and it'll blend in with the bottom since it's black. So hopefully we'll let that dry, and that works to seal up those holes, and then we'll put our foam board over top. I'm probably going to let them dry because I don't have anywhere to put these cabinets or anybody to help me move them. So they got to stay in the bus for right now. But otherwise, the subfloors are basically ready. I still got to put some, I got to pull the rest of the styrofoam and also the fiberglass in between these windows. But all the styrofoam has to go, even from the roof. I don't know how we're gonna do the flooring. I'm thinking it's probably gonna be better to put the cabinets in place and not put flooring underneath them, and just floor up to the edge of it so it can expand and contract like people say. But that means I have to wait until that wall is ready before I put the cabinets in place, right? So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll find some help to help me move these out of the way, but for now I am gonna let that flooring dry, and then eventually I'll go back to pulling styrofoam most likely, and getting the walls and ceiling prepped for insulation.